minute, ho, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and known to keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a reflexive, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in a symphony. They keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.
YouTube world, what is good? How everybody living today? How everybody living on a Tuesday? How my Cowboys Nation out there? How y'all feeling? Y'all was able to, get your thoughts out about that, Sunday night. It's a classic, but classic tie, probably the best classic tie you'll ever see in your life. How'd y'all enjoy that tie? It's all right. Y'all know what it is. The one-man force styles and flavor of DFW sports. Just super fan from the DFW land, rocking everywhere you can. Having fun, man. Your boy was at that game, man. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification channel to this channel. For all the new viewers, man, appreciate y'all with the new subs as we're trying to get to that next goal mark to get back to 3,500 subscribers. So we over the 3K mark and we're trying to get there. And now we're trying to get to the, million view spot, as well. So appreciate everybody who's been rocking in with the channel one time for your boy, man. Like you say, I'm bringing all DFW content. We're trying to go back now that a lot of sports is gearing back up. We're trying to go back to Wednesdays being a full DFW night. But, I wasn't able to go live yesterday because if you've ever uploaded any type of video that has taken that is more than probably 30 minutes long to YouTube and you want that clarity, yeah, it's going to take you about 2 hours, bro. And that's why we couldn't go live, because we did have the vlog put up of Sunday night's overtime tie between the Packers and the Niners, man. I mean, the Packers and the Cowboys. So much emotion. Now, me being part of it, being at the game, I just want to share my game experience. If you haven't already, just check my latest video out. What's good, Mr. Cowboy? What's good, my guy? How do you feel coming off the tie, man? You know what I'm saying? He said it ain't a loss, but it ain't a win. It's like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm messed up about it because it actually makes me feel a little bit. It makes me feel a little bit bad about it. It really makes me feel bad about it. And you want to know why I feel bad about it? Just like Mr. Cowboy saying, feeling sick. You want to know why I feel this way about it? About this game between the Packers and the Cowboys that went in overtime and tied in the 40 piece was, you've saw in I've been to both home games so far this year, and both of them have went into overtime and needed every minute, every second of overtime. And I'm looking and I'm like, bro, I damn near got a flawless game from Dak Prescott. A lot of the critics of Dak Prescott, for whatever reason, they want to be extra harsh on him. For whatever they want to do is, they're entitled to. But where I come discouraged is Dak played this offense, not just Dak. This offense played a flawless. Schottenheimer, outside of that first quarter, they played a flawless game, bro, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. That's where I come out disappointed. Like, bro, I told y'all before the season started, this season is going to be all on Dak Prescott's shoulders. I said it from the jump. And looking at it, his shoulders just might not be enough. It might not be enough. So going forward on 4th and 6, which is crazy. I've been going back and forth with a lot of people at my job about this, Mr. Cowboy. If it was If it was more time on the clock, we would have gave up a touchdown. So I do understand where people are like, bro, you might as well go for it. But that's a lot of yardage, bro. That's a lot of yardage. And if you don't get it, even if you fall an inch short of the goal line and they're starting on the 99.5-yard line, they're going to score and they're going to win. That's my whole issue with it. I honestly think, I mean, we can, if y'all want, I can go down. We can go look at that last sequence right there. I mean, I got it up on the vlog anyway. I could probably look at it on my camera phone, but I think the calls, Tolbert, and I said on the live, no, on the preview, when I was previewing the Packers, I said, bruh, the offense needs to get more involved with Turpin, and somehow, some way, if Tolbert wants to keep his spot on this team, he's going to have to come up big. And I mean, it was prime for him to be the savior of the game. Tuh. Oh, yeah. But offense move. One thing I looked at the all-22 film, and the thing I took away is where I'm giving Schottenheimer a lot of props is there were a lot of routes there were a lot of completions that Dak completed or even didn't complete. But there were multiple plays where there were multiple people open. Like, normally it's just been one read, that guy needs to be there. And I guess it is a check down, but the check downs look different with Schottenheimer. There's a play in there that I like, that I saw how Jay Ferguson, peeled back and came out open. This was the play that actually Dak Prescott missed the throw to Turpin when he was coming across the field. Had Dak put more floater on that, let him out more, Turpin runs under that. But bro, I think all we needed was like 6 yards. And I mean, the design, how Jay Ferguson got open, it just showed me Schottenheimer is starting to get in his bag with no CD Lamb. With no CD Lamb, he caught a hell of a game. And where I'm giving Dak Prescott more props than his completion percentage and all that is more of, bro, he was decisive. He got rid of the football, because I go back and look at the film. Me being at the game, I was, I'm in the 300 level and I'm looking and I'm like, bro, Michael Parsons, Rashawn, Gary, they're not making any noise. Then I went back and looked at the all-22. Michael was in that, boy. I'm glad we ain't got to talk about it no more, but Micah had his turn every which way. Dak just got rid of the ball, bro. Dak got rid of the ball. He got rid of the ball, man. Now, in the NFL, it's just crazy because, like I said, I'm not here to praise Dak, but I'm not here to tear him down neither, because the NFL is a week-to-week league. I just don't understand, like, folks like Herbert, for the Chargers example. A lot of people in that game, when the Cowboys win the overtime against the Giants, said that Russell Wilson outplayed Dak. Now, I think a lot of the critics of Dak Prescott will feel that Justin Herbert, who basically, I don't know how many playoff victories he got, will say he's better than Dak Prescott. And you see they go out and lay an egg against the Giants, against Jackson Dart. The NFL is the NFL, bro. It really is. And I just think what really happens as the season goes on, as you learn a little bit more about your team, you got to figure out what works and what don't work. That's what really good teams do. They figure out what works and what don't work. And I think Schottenheimer is just starting to realize, look, let me keep it balanced enough. Because Javonte Williams, I apologize. I want to be the first to apologize. I'm doing this week in and week out. I'm apologizing to Javonte Williams because I swore up and down. I was like, bro, there's no way off of surgeries and injuries that he done had. And we ain't seen him now get one rep. for him to actually be guaranteed a starting spot, I apologize. I was not familiar with your game, my bruh. I was not familiar with your game. Oh, Kid Cowboy up here. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. He said, what happened in Chicago? They got their ass whooped. What's crazy is about that game is they got very conservative, and I don't think that was the game plan. For some reason, we fumbled the football on our first drive. For some reason, we put our star receiver in the backfield, and after he got hurt, it just seemed like I think he got a little way too conservative. You know what I'm saying? But against the Packers, that defense was way better. But like I said, it's just week to week. The thing with the Cowboys is always when you praise them, they'll come out and lay a dud. Regardless if it's the defense, if it's the quarterback, if it's the offense, it don't matter. You give them too much praise, they gonna let your ass down. And then when you don't expect, just like everybody took the Packers and the point spread. Everybody did. And after the first quarter, the first couple of drives, I wouldn't have been mad neither. But then you know what happened? You know what happened after that? They kept playing football. That's all it is. That's all it is. According to what it do. Appreciate you tuning in one time. You know, my voice is still, I'm still trying to get my voice back. Because y'all know how I be in them games. I be repping, you know what I'm saying? But it was crazy that everywhere I looked and everywhere I sat, my whole section, it was more Packer fans than it was Cowboy fans. So you already know me, how I get down. I represent it. Oh, see, here they come right here. The up and down roller coaster. It could be the QB, but at the same time, I mean, dog. What I'm more discouraged about, and ain't nobody's gonna sit here and celebrate a tie, but I'm just like, dude, for you to put up 40 points, and a lot of people were saying in the Giants game, no, that was Brandon Aubrey. He kicked 4 or 5 field goals. He kicks it. All he did was kick the overtime field goal. That was it. Outside of that, Dak got rid of the foot. Had Dak been the scared, under pressure type of quarterback that everybody expected him to be, especially when the score was 13-2, yeah, that game would have got ugly. That game would have really got ugly. He would have took a lot of sacks. But he stayed dialed in. And I actually, before I give Dak a lot of credit, I'm going to give Schottenheimer credit. Looking at the all-22, bruh, the game plan was ready. The game plan was right. I got to really tip my hat off to Schottenheimer, bro. Like, he was right. He was right. See, he want to say the Chargers 3-1, but who did they lose to? Who did Justin Herbert? What happened to Justin Herbert against the New York Giants? See, that's what I say when people be like, well, what happened in Chicago? See, this whole mix and match and what did bro, it's the NFL. This is not college. In college, you can do that. In the NFL, I mean, Lamar Jackson got more MVPs, been in more playoffs. His record is 1-3. If I'm not mistaken, it's called a team game, bro. And when people will start to realize that, y'all might be a little bit more good in life. But, you know, I don't think we'll lose against the Jets, but we'll see. With this defense, everybody want to talk about Dak Prescott, but you have no chance without Dak Prescott. I'm just telling you right now. You ain't got no chance. You ain't got no chance. And you know what? If I had to put my money on it, I wouldn't have said that. I would have been like, Jaden Blue needs to be in that boy toting that bit. But that is not the case. That is not the case. That is not the case. What up, big bro? You get that you get that bit cranked up. Get that cranked up. Oh, Monica, what up? What up, sis? What up, bro? Monica and Scott in the chat, man. You know, like I said, it's a lot of that criticism, and fair or unfair, he is the quarterback. He does make a lot of money. He has been here 10 years, so I get it. I get it. There's, you know, you're gonna have but to sit here and just act like this defense, bruh, if you don't get games like that from Dak Prescott, you have no chance. And that's the scary part about all of it. If you don't believe in Dak, then you know this team, then you really already feel this team ain't going nowhere. I just felt like even in the beginning of the season, even with a Michael Parsons, this team wasn't going nowhere because of their defense. I don't care what you say. If you can't stop nobody, bro, you're putting up touchdowns. You're going back and forth and you thinking, okay, this touchdown seals. They only got 43 seconds left. I done seen this twice in AT&T Stadium where you have under 50 seconds left. And you mean to tell me you give up ass and elbows and give up the game? How? How? And everybody's like, well, why did Dak need a 64-yard field goal to beat the Giants? Bro, he was left with 23 seconds left on the clock. I don't know about y'all, but unless you're playing the Cowboys defense, that's the only time you're going to score quickly like that. If you're playing the Cowboys defense, you might score in 23 seconds. But outside of that, I don't think you're scoring in 23 seconds. That's just how I feel about it. So, hey, people blow air the way they want to blow it. I'm just going to sit here and say, for y'all to literally sit here and say Dak is the reason for this, but if you're going to say Dak is the reason for the losses, then how come y'all don't give him his props when he does do good and he's the reason that, basically you have the chance? That's my only issue with everything. Like, bro, I don't want to apologize for Dak because at the end of the day, it's about the playoff record. At the end of the day, even though, people say Romo got robbed, to each his own. But we know it's all about the playoffs. But I don't think nobody that's a realistic Cowboy fan actually got this team making the playoffs. This was with Michael Parsons before he was traded, everything. And it was more because of the schedule, and you're not that good of a team. You're not that good of a team. See, chat, you see, you get these type of people up in here like that. All they want to say, that's all they want to do. But see, when he does good, they just move the goalpost. That's all they do is just keep moving the goalpost. Like I said, I'm not defending Dak, but if you're gonna sit here and smoke dope and sit here and say, well, yeah, Dak he's losing, but you gloss over the fact you giving up 300 plus yards passing. Hold on. You're giving up the most passing yards. You're giving up the most points. And you give up the highest third down conversion rate. Bro, I don't know what team in any foot from Pop Warner all the way up to NFL. In those three categories, when you're that piss poor, you're going to be a bad team. I don't care if you got a Madden all-star team with any Super Bowl quarterback combined together. It's not going to work. But being back at that game, bro, it was so many Packer fans up in there. It was crazy. And it was like, they went up 13-2. Boy, they was talking shit. They was talking big shit. And all of a sudden, got a little momentum going. Got the ball back, and then you finally got a turnover from the defense. James Houston came up in that boy, gave you something. They ended up, all of a sudden, people said that Dak couldn't split cover two. I saw him throw to George Pickens in the end zone for splitting cover two. That happened. And then Cowboys took the lead. Boy, I got in there talking shit. And then all of a sudden, second half came around. That boy went back and forth where people were basically just holding their breath. It was either go Pack go or let's go Cowboys. That's basically where the shit talking led to right there. It didn't go to Cowboys suck or Packers go back home, fuck you, cheesehead. It was kind of like that in the beginning, but then they started going back and forth. People had to save their breath just to be like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what was really fun about the game. I think that's the only thing that makes me actually complete about it was like, I hated that it ended in a tie, but since I was there, I got a great game to see. You got your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the main key right there. And like I said, if you haven't already, check out the vlog already, yeah, that was fire. And to start that game off, you looked and there's two things you got to look at. Eberflus, bro. I don't want to say it's all him. I think his defense is that bad. But, leave it to the critics. Dak plays defense too. He puts them in a bad position. So, I can go on and on how they keep blaming him. You know what I'm saying? On and on and on and on. You know, and it just, you know, I let them have it. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to pump helium in an airhead. You know what I'm saying? Because last time I checked it, you know, if you think a fourth round quarterback is really going to be that guy, then you was already sadly mistaken. You was already sadly mistaken. But, you know, it ain't no different than Tony Romo. Tony Romo was undrafted. The problem is you have a bad Romo had bad defenses, bro. He had some of the worst defenses. Some of the worst. Let's get to some positive. George Pickens. Ski mask way. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw him drop that pass, bruh, I was like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? Are you really serious? This is what you gonna do? You in a contract year, the real number one done went down, and here you go. Nah, but give George Pickens his due. His due. You know what I'm saying? You know, according to the critics, you know, the roller coaster quarterback, he threw a ball that was supposed to go out of bounds, but people gonna give Tolbert all the credit. But let that been Jordan Love that got outplayed. He got outthrown. You know what I'm saying? You know. Now looking at the play live, I was like, man, he didn't even need to throw it away. Turpin was actually, there was a couple plays where you like, damn, Dak, you could have kind of did this, but bro, the pressure was really, really in his face. I'm being honest. I was at the game, and it looked to me like the offensive line held up and pass blocking. That was, you look at the all 22, that is not the case. That's not the case. They got bombarded. They really did, and they had to hold on. But in the run game, this is where Javonte, bro. If you can just get you a home run hitter to put next to Javonte, because Miles Sanders, to me, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing with him. To me, he has no vision. His feet ain't good neither, bro. I can't do nothing with him. I'd rather see Malik Davis, bro. Like, real talk, I'm to that point. You gotta get a switch hitter, man, up in the backfield. But I want to credit everybody. Like I said, Tolbert came big. Ryan Flanoy. What? Ryan Flanoy came out in that thing, and the whole receiving, even Jake Ferguson, you even got Luke Schoonmaker in there. I saw your boy Brevin Spanford catch hell, bro. He jaw jocked some folks, catching them on some of them peel black blocks. You know what I'm saying? Hunter Lupe came in there and did some good things blocking as well. Running backs did good. You know, about to go to the Pro Football Focus as well, but what I'm not gonna lie, but to see a game like this from the Cowboys as they exhausted everything, you should already know it's gonna be a dogfight going to Jersey, bro. I so get it across your mind. If you ride for Dak, understand this might just be one of them games where it's gonna look ugly, but long as he can win. If you're one of them Dak critics, yeah. You're just looking forward to just a slip up. And to me, if you don't like the Cowboys, I'm fine with that. But to be a Cowboy fan and to be like that, to me, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect from, you know, the nervous system and the brain system, I see. I will say this, though. What happened? See, this is my problem. This is the only problem I have with the Dak critics, because y'all clearly see this defense sucks. What happens when you put up 35, 40 points and it's not enough? It's going to be Dak fault then? It's going to be Dak fault then. Because that's essentially what just happened Sunday. Dude put up 40 points and it wasn't enough. It didn't get him a win. Now, it didn't get an L, but it didn't get a win neither. So, like I said, are y'all just gonna be miserable all y'all days? There we go, stars. Are y'all just gonna be miserable all y'all days? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But to each his own. To each his own. But I will sit here and say, The Jets are a team that's, they done slide. Offensively, I'm really not worried just because they can run the football. When you can run the football, you can you can be halfway decent. You're gonna at least be able to put up field goals. So if Dak is on one of them bullshit ass games where he out there bullshitting, at least can you get me to the like 45, 50 yard line? We can kick 3 at least if you on that bullshit. Because I have seen him been on that bullshit. Regardless what the defense does, I have seen him been on that bull. So, and I fuck with Dak, but at the same time, it is what it is. It really is what it is. There's no sugarcoat. So, like I said, for folk on both sides, you have your turn. But this season in particular, bro, come on, dog. When you leading and passing, you know what I'm saying? You're like top 2 in the basically QB rating right now. Yeah, you only got one dub on your record, but you can look at it. You can say, okay, they got 2 losses. Can you say they all his fault? I don't know. Bro, the tickets dropped, bro. Them tickets in the beginning, they were expensive. But the Cowboys started losing. They lost to Chicago, and that kind of put a damper. But I was in the 300 section, and I got mine for, I believe what it was, about 170. And in the beginning, that section, that mezzanine, that bit was going for 260. 260. 260, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? But you see. Yeah. And see, you get people like this, though. He's right on par for last season. Okay, so what is the defense then? Tell me what the defense record is, too. While you're just talking about Dak, what is the defensive record, too? Nah, I'm not going to get you a goddamn thing. You go with all that criticism, why don't you go ask Dak for some free tickets? Go ask Dak for some free tickets. Since y'all like ranking on him so much, maybe he might hook y'all up in person to really fix y'all eyeballs to really see what's really going on. No, but Dak do be fucking up sometimes, though. A lot of times. But we know it. When the pressure's on him, he normally folds. And that's what I was scared of Sunday. When they went up 13-2, I was like, oh my gosh, pressure about to be on Dak. This shit seems so reminiscent to that fatal January when Green Bay came down. I was like, man, but you hear me in my video. In the video I dropped, I kept this mantra going. Little by little, just keep stacking. Let it add up and cash in. And I said that so much as you look in my vlog toward the end of it when, I break down the game and do all that. I had some Packer fans even come up, jump in my video and was like, the lady that you saw, she came up to me before I did all that, but she was like, I like that saying. I want to use that. Little by little, just keep stacking. And that's why you saw them two come up there and they was like, little by little. Bruh, that was my mantra for the offense the whole game, and it just kept rolling, bro. And little by little, they kept stacking, kept working, kept chipping, kept doing it. And like I said, people want to talk bad about Dak. Let me get into the Pro Football Focus numbers. I was surprised that he got graded out the way he did, but I look back at that all 22, bro. Micah gave dudes the business, bro. Bass kind of got worked at times too, but in the run game, they were good. Pass game, though, they really got put on skates. So as you see, the dude who's on par to just win 3 games, as they all say, he gave you your highest offensive rating. Since he gets all the blame, Pro Football Focus rated him as basically your highest offensive player. So, and before y'all say this was a mediocre team, and y'all didn't say there was no motherfucking mediocre team before the Cowboys played them. Y'all weren't saying that bullshit. Y'all knew that defense was supposed to be top 3, top 5, whatever. So y'all was like, yeah, Dak basically gonna choke this away. That's what y'all were feeling. And when it didn't happen, y'all like, yeah, hooray, it ended in a tie. See, Lord forbid y'all have friends in real life, because y'all are the type of people that make real ones stay by themselves. Like, for real. But that's society too. That's just society. That's how they do you. But if you want to change, the perception, sometimes you have to let the action show. So all Dak can do is just, I guess, be perfect like this for the rest of the season, which everybody know that's not gonna happen. But I'm just here to say, damn, bro. So if Dak put up 35 points and they lose, is it Dak's fault? That don't make sense to me. Dude put up 40 and they didn't win. And it's his fault. He tied a mediocre team, which none of y'all said they was a mediocre. Do all of y'all have Jordan Love as a better quarterback than Dak Prescott? All the Dak critics, is he better than Dak Prescott? Okay, so you look at the numbers, people will say, okay, Jordan Love, he kind of had just enough better passing numbers. Hell, you can get whatever against the Cowboys defense. That was easy. That was given. Nobody expected Dak to put up the numbers he put up and the performance that he put up against this Green Bay defense. Did you? Missing 2 offensive linemen on top of that? Did you? All right, so just what I want the critics for Dak to do, just don't, when you say 2-5 in the playoffs, just mention the whole series. Don't just mention the losses, even where he came up short. Because I honestly believe, I don't think it was 2021. I think it was 2022. That was their best chance to win a Super Bowl. That defense was actually legit 2022. And I saw Dak Prescott go to Santa Clara and piss the game away. I really did. Even though Pollard got hurt, I saw him piss that game away. I really did. Now, the Packer game, I saw all them piss that bitch away. All of them. But you see, Dak hang in there. Yeah, your boy GP3. Ski mask way. If you know about things in Dallas, a lot of people outside of Dallas don't fuck with Dallas. It was a thing that back in the gap where you said if you was from Dallas, people locked their doors and hid all their valuables, because, Dallas known for that hook and crook. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Pookie and Mr. Lucha, Crook City, lay it down. I'm a crook for life. You know what I'm talking about? If you're around my age, you would understand. But yeah, man, George Pickens, I want to say George Pickens, bro, it was good to see him beast out like that, bro. It really was. For him to drop that pass, and we saw when he dropped that pass into an interception, although the Dak critics will say Dak threw a bad pass. Yeah, he threw a bad pass right into Pickens' hands that went into an interception. That was all Dak's fault. But after that pick, after that drop that went to a pick, George Pickens lost his shit. He smashed his helmet. Dude really took himself out the game. He had to drop this game. What'd he do? He bounced back. And that's the type of stuff that'll make Jerry want to give you an extension. And don't get it twisted. You're in a 4-year window, period. Everybody got these 4-year extensions from Dak, CD, Tyler Smith, Osa, Bland. Like, everybody done got these 4-year deals. You're in this window right now. You better try to make it happen, and it's gonna suck because this defense ain't gonna give you a chance. I think this offense, if Schottenheimer is gonna be in his bag the way I think he's gonna be, then there's no reason that Dak shouldn't put up MVP numbers. His team just not gonna be that good. And before you say elite quarterbacks, they elevate the team that they play, man. Have you even played football? And have you seen, there have been plenty of Super Bowls where the team won despite the quarterback. Like Peyton Manning's Super Bowl, let's be real. Yeah, he finally got his first Super Bowl. More beating the Patriots was a bigger thing. But he faced Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl. Stop playing, bro. If you got people want to say Jalen Hurts got a Super Bowl ring. This is my thing. Dak couldn't be cover two, Chicago Bears cover two defense. Why he only put up one touchdown? Well, Jalen Hurts did get the win against the Cowboys this year. But I'm going to say it like this. Every quarterback that has lined up against the Dallas Cowboys defense has thrown over 300 yards. Jalen Hurts didn't even come close to that. So why do you think? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to come on with it, man. Like, just y'all got to look at the game in the totality. Now, bad quarterback play will lose you the game. It will. I'm not saying Dak is a top 5 quarterback. I'm not going to say that. But to sit here and be like, bro, he is the reason this team is bad. If you were going to say money-wise, then I give you that. If he's taking all the money, I'm like, yeah, that's just a tough situation to be paying a lot of that type of money to. Period. But this is how it is in the NFL, especially for the quarterback. And my thing is, you see, putting up 40 with Dak ain't getting you nowhere. So without him, you don't stand a chance because you really think Joe Milton putting up 40? Yeah, he's putting up 40. Cooper Rush would have been. Man, stop. Shut y'all at. Cooper Rush would have got sacked 6 times yesterday or Sunday. He'd have got sacked 6 times. But looking at it. Look at our offensive lineman, bro. Look at our offensive lineman. That's a lot of sick. Nobody really graded out good, but they graded out good in the run game. Let's look at the run game. You look at the run game, Tyler Smith graded out. Boy, fire. Terrence Steele, which we know he's a mauler at run blocking. Then you start getting a little bit lower. TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, it's a tough task for them. They're not normal starters, so I kind of give them way much more leeway. But really, Tyler Guyton, bro, looking back at the All-22, he did struggle. He really did struggle. Dak really bailed him out. He got rid of the football. Bro, look at the pass block. 26. What? As you see, Javonte Williams got in there and he got him some good pass blocking as well. Nathan Thomas, I think a lot of us is kind of like, let's see what he actually got. Let's see what he can actually do. But you're looking at this pass blocking, Tyler Smith, they graded him out as a 14.5. How? Motherfucker, how? Let's look at it. He said, motherfucker, how? Okay, so pressures allowed. So you only gave up 1 sack. Your hurries that you gave up, Brock Hoffman gave up to Pro Football Focus. He gave up 4 pressures. That looked about right. Tyler Guyton only gave up 2. But he kind of struggled at times, especially in the pass block. But you're looking at the offensive line, they gave up a good pressure rate still. Oh, hold on. Just to make more people see, hey, he did this against a mediocre team. He did this against a mediocre team. Come on, Cletus. Give me the passing. But again, being at that game, bro, as you get older in life, when that game was the way it was in the 4th quarter, and I'm looking at my watch like, bro, it's 11:30. Motherfucker got to go to work the next day. Boy, he damn sure wanted to put in some sick time for real. So under pressure, Dak Prescott. A lot of people, they called him Dink and Dak. Dak and Dink, or what do y'all call him? Dink and Dak, whatever. I don't know, but, he had 7 attempts of 20 yards or more, gave you 4 completions. And this is not me praising Dak, but I don't even want to say this is like me trying to be a fanboy of Dak. I'm just saying, bro, If you looked at those pass blocking grades, they really got worked. And you look at it, Dak really just, bro, when the money was called, he did his thing, bro. He really did his thing. Not blitz 33. He was 27 of 33 when he wasn't blitz. He ate. That was a lot of cover two, right? That was a lot of cover two that he couldn't beat against Chicago, right? All right. 3 tutties. Yeah, when he wasn't blitz. So you better blitz. And then when they did blitz him, he was 4-7. Okay, that made something happen. When he was kept clean, 19 of 26, you'll take that. Under pressure, he was 12 of 14. 1 touchdown. Come on, bro. Under pressure, he basically graded out as what? A 90.5? Not blitz. He was on the money. Not like I said, this don't tell everything. This is not saying that, give him the MVP. Nobody's saying that. But without Dak Prescott in this game, you get your ass whooped 40 to what? 40 to 10, maybe? 40 to 9. Without Dak Prescott, you get whooped on. You get your head beat in. I don't even want to say without Dak Prescott, without the game that Dak Prescott played. Let's say it that way. And what sucks is he's going to have to continue to play that way because his defense is trash. I think trash is a gross understatement. I think we're being a little bit too kind for See? You see what you get? I don't even want to give, you know what I'm saying? Brain dead. Brain dead. But looking at it, bro, I mean, bro, there was if you came out that game still hating on Dak, that's on you. Now let me talk about my man Javonte, bro. Javonte, 20 attempts, that's still good, but he's not getting the relief he should be. And I think he'll be running harder if you had that complimentary back to go alongside him. Miles Sanders, I'm telling you, bro, ain't getting it for me, bro. Miles Sanders ain't getting it for me. He ain't getting it for me. Got to do better, but yeah, we got to get Javonte some more touchdowns and some more rushing yards because he can easily get, he can easily get a Pro Bowl spot the way he wrote Pro Bowl selection the way he running, bro. To me, I will actually say he's low key the MVP of this team right now. I would say that. I'm like, bro, Javonte Williams low key is about the MVP because he's been running hard. He's been running gritty. He's really giving this offense some attitude. To be fair and honest, Javonte Williams through 4 weeks, he's my MVP actually of this team. That's just me. That's me. But Javonte Blue, Javonte Williams, he's been stepping. Literally, he been stepping. Real talk. And we know he can catch out the backfield. We just don't want him to. We don't want him to. George Pickens got 11 targets, 8 receptions, 134 yards. Had he not had that drop, he'd have had over 150. He'd have had over 150. Dak did have a bad underneath. He did give him a jump ball that was a bad throw in that one. But at the same time, seeing George Pickens go off like that, now you're just like, bro, CeeDee Lamb come back. There should be no reason y'all shouldn't put up 30. And if the Packers defense is what they say it was, then y'all should be going fire. Jake Ferguson was 7 of 7 in his receptions, only 40 yards. So you see, not too much check down, but you see the ball got spread it around. Tolbert had 6 targets. Do y'all think Tolbert did enough in this game to keep him a job? Because I said in this game, I was like, bruh, I said in the preview, if he wants to keep his job, he's going to have to do something. This type of game is going to be made for him. And I mean, he really had the biggest catch at the end of the game. It should have won the game. It really should have won the game. But, I think it was bad play calling. And then a lot of people want to say Dak was slow, but people act like Micah Parsons ain't running dudes down. He ran Dak down like he runs every other quarterback down. But I also think the play selection didn't do you no good neither. But Kevontae Turpin, Dak throws a better ball. He has better numbers right there. But I saw that the offense, you saw a game plan from Schottenheimer that forced the defense to respect Kevontae Turpin's speed. Wherever he was on the field, they had to respect it. And to me, that opened it up for George Pickens. That opened up even more for Javonte Williams in the run game, for your boy Jake Ferguson. It opened up literally everything in there. Now, I will say about the defense. Let's talk about the defense. Forget about the offense. Offense, you're going to have to do this week in, week out. So, Schottenheimer, you need a good game plan. Dak, you got to be on your shit, period. Into this defense, figure out whatever they trying to figure out. Because to me, it ain't happening, Captain. It is not happening. Now, James Houston graded out as your highest defender, which he should have. He got your forced fumble. He got your takeaway, which that takeaway was a big takeaway because I'm in that game sitting right there, and when they threw them 2 incompletions, when it was a little time in the first half, I'm like, shit, Cowboys fuck around, get the ball back in good field position, we'll be in there. You started seeing the pressure starting to get there a little bit. They weren't getting sacks, but they did start moving Jordan Love off the spot. So looking at the all 22, that this is not saying much, but probably defensive line wise, this was probably their best game of the season. That is not saying nothing. You saying, hold on, the defensive line, this was their best game of the season, and they still gave up 40? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. 40? But James Houston, I've been screaming, bro, he needs to be taking Sam Williams reps. You know, I understand he's undersized, but that guy needs to be getting more reps. He needs to, bro. He be wrecking shot. He wrecked shot. I fucks with him. Kenny Clark did his thing as well, bro. Kenny Clark had 5 total pressures. As you see, week in, week out, who's leading? Osa actually did good this game. There was a couple times I felt like he got pushed back, but you looking at the pressure rate, nah, bro, they got some pressure. According to Pro Football Focus, they had about 25 pressures. 25 pressures, and you only got, 4 hits out of that? That ain't that good, but you got 20 hurries. For the most part, once Clowney came in, once James Houston came in, it seemed like your depth was there. I told y'all about Jack Sanborn, right? I told y'all about that. I think that is the main problem of your defense right now. You can say it's the safeties. You can say it's the pass rush. I honestly think it's your linebackers, bro. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't even want to say a dead horse. I don't want to go to that well too many times. But your boy Jack Sanborn, good Lord have mercy, man. I don't know what to tell you about him, man. I don't know what to tell you about him. But you look at this, though. This is something to say when you're getting your most total pressures from the inside. Which, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with getting pressure in the inside? Tom Brady is the GOAT, right? He's the GOAT, right? Okay. So what happens when pressure came up the middle? You know, he has won 7 Super Bowls, but people act like he never tap danced when he got pressured. Okay. So can you just get better linebacker play, and can you blitz a little bit more? And I think they tried blitzing with Sanborn. It's just not working. But when they put Shamar James in there, I'm not saying Shamar James made the defense get better, but the defense seemed like they moved faster. It's like that level of the defense moved faster when Shamar James was out there. Sanborn out there, bro, middle of that defense, if he's slow right there, bro, and they started picking on him like it wasn't nothing, bro. For real. But, you know, toward that game, you did see Jordan Love have to start moving off the spot. So that's something I will give the defense. And like I said, if we're going to sit here and say that was probably their best defensive line game, as a defensive line wise, that was their best game, we in trouble. We're in trouble. You still gave up 40 and over 440 yards total offense. Come on, man. I can't make this up. I can't make this up, bro. I really can't. They graded out Trayvon Diggs as an 83. How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about Diggs? When he caught that interception, how did you feel when Diggs caught that interception? Tell the truth. When you saw Diggs catch that interception, did you feel some type of way? Did you feel like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because he actually, he played it actually pretty good. But you also had pressure. I mean, you get pressure when you got 12 guys on the field, but I don't want to say 12 guys because one guy was running off. So it's not like we had an extra guy pressuring, but I mean, it was a quick hit play. And I think Diggs, just to see him being able, because I thought he can't even do nothing like that. How do y'all feel about him turnstile and trying to make a tackle too? I think he learned his lesson after that Chicago game, which I blame Jack Sanborn for, because there's no reason Trayvon Diggs should be the last. He shouldn't be the first one getting ready to hit the running back, and he got his shoulder busted up because our linebacker play is just too slow. And they take bad angles, starting with Jack Sanborn. Where is he at on this list? Where he at? Where he at on this list? He right here. They graded him out as a 57.4. They said his run defense was 70. That is a lie. That's a lie. His run defense was good, but his tackling was piss poor. I don't get how that matches up. And like I said, coverage wise, you can cancel Christmas on that. You can cancel Christmas on that. Kenneth Murray, he does halfway decent, but you can tell he's cheap. But Donovan Ezeraku, how do y'all feel about him? He's, for the last 2 weeks, he's been getting pressure. Now it's not fair because he's supposed to be doing that because the Bears had a backup offensive tackle, and so does the Packers went in there with backup offensive lineman. But Donovan Ezeraku, for the last 2 weeks, looking at the all 22, he's been showing a little bit much more promise. He really has. Marshawn Nealon, I think for what he's tasked to do, he's been straight. I don't see how they keep crediting Fowler for these pressures though, because I really didn't see it at the game how he was. I haven't seen really too much of anything on the all 22 suggesting that he's getting pressure. I don't see it. I don't see it. I do not see it. But like I said, for the Cowboys, what you do see, 25 pressures, 20 hurries. Okay. You're starting to do something. And you finally got to take, all I can do is take away the positives as of right now. I'm not going to bring a pass, just of right now. Y'all got to take away. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to get some hurries. You're getting a little bit much more pressure. You about to hopefully get some bodies coming back. But I think they desperately missed Overshawn. Overshawn being back up in here, bro. Now you got to hope he comes back good off an injury, but sheesh. Coverage-wise, got Diggs at a 91. He was targeted one time, one reception. So who got 8 up? Kier Elam got 8 up. Reddy Stewart got 8 up. Deron Bland. I think those were more good throws and contested catches. But just look at the targets. Look at the targets. What happened? Reddy Stewart got 8 up. Basically, everything they threw his way got completed. And we was liking Reddy Stewart. We were really liking him. Like, bro, he's been playing good at the nickel spot. Now you just got to you got to figure out what you're going to do at that other corner spot. But 8 targets, gave up 8 receptions for 75 yards. Yeesh. Deron Bland, he was targeted 8 times, gave up five receptions for what? For 71 yards and 1 tutty. But your boy Kier Elam got 8 up. He got targeted 3 times. Who was it? Dobbs that had 3 reception touchdowns. 3 of them, 3 targets, 3 receptions. He got 8 up, too. Secondary did have a bad day. And you look at Sanborn. He was targeted 6 times. They completed five of them for 50 yards. Now, he made the game-saving play by at least not getting beat deep, and Jordan Love threw us a freebie. Now, my thing is, had the Cowboys won that game off this play, y'all still wouldn't have gave Dak his props. Y'all would have been like, Jordan Love had a stupid pill, which I actually would agree. Like, bro, when they hiked that ball, I was like, are you serious? Y'all really hiked it? And then when I saw how he threw it, I thought the game was over. I was like, oh, you handed us this bit, but we couldn't even get no home cooking. And operator couldn't been yawning like, and then like, you know what I'm saying? He could have did something, yo. Come on, man. But like I said, giving up 337. Reddy Stewart and Deron Bland and Jack Sanborn gave up most of that, along with Kenneth Murray. And this is my problem with Eberflus. You throwing these guys in that zone is not working. But Shamar James, he got targeted twice for 41 yards. Your linebackers, it's just not working in your zone, bro. It's not. It's really not. So there's something he's gonna have to figure out, bro. It really is. Something he's gonna have to figure out. And I hope you figure it out in a hurry too. I hope you do. Two Guns, what's good, bro? What's good? I saw your Red Sox one today. You know, since my Rangers, they out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think they might be out of it for a minute, man. They about to have to rebuild. They're gonna have to start young. But yeah. Y'all check out my boy Two Guns, man. Our Bleeping City, all Boston sports, man. I need to check out your channel as well. I just been watching a lot of film, trying to catch up on a lot of things. So, you know, I'll try to get to your videos for sure. You need Jaden Blue. I feel you. Let's do it. I don't know what's keeping him back, bro. Like, real talk. And I was calling for it. He need to play well. He said Diggs got to go, bro, which sucks to say. I mean, and I see my big brother laughing in the chat. I mean, is he healthy, though? I don't know if he's healthy. And he did everything in his power to come back and do his thing to try to be, I guess, healthy. But this defense got problems from the front to the middle to the back, bro. And like I said, 40 points was not enough to win for either team. That is a depressing. To me, that's more depressing for a Cowboy fan because you're like, bro, we know our defense is bad, but damn, you mean to tell me we can put up 40 and still lose? I don't see the Packers going in a lot of games putting up 40 and not winning. But the Cowboys, I can see them putting up 40 and still losing. I can see that. And that's going to be the roller coaster ride this year. Because if Dak ain't putting up 35 plus, then they don't stand a chance. And it's going to come with, you know, it reminds me of Any Given Sunday with LL Cool J with Willie Beeman. When they went on that losing streak, what did LL tell him in there? What, you forget your invisible juice? What, you forget your invisible juice, Dak? So you gotta have to be on it at all times, Dak. And forget what the critics say. It's just like I said, bro. Just play freely, because I'm here to tell you, you're liable to put up 40 points and it might not be enough. That is the reality of the fact right now. So you're gonna get the criticism regardless how it shape out. You don't put up 30 plus in a win, you'll get criticized. If you lose, even if you put up 40, you're going to get criticized. But we know this is the team game. And somehow the defense, like I said, to be honest, looking at the all 22, I saw more pressure than I saw the first 3 weeks. Donovan Ezeraku, he's starting to flash more out on tape. Osa and Kenny Clark, they really cleaned up on the all 22. You can catch it. I should do me some shorts here probably, during out the week, seeing what we need to go up against the Jets as well. So it's enough said. Kenny Clark, you still gave up 160 yards rushing, but I just think a lot of that is due to bad linebacker play, bro. I honestly think it's due to it's not because Kenny Clark is getting hemmed up. It's not because Osa is getting hemmed up. I just think your linebackers, especially that Jack Sanborn guy, he can only play special teams for me, bro. That's all he can do. I would have ran the clock for another sec. Like I said, I would have. Oh, man. You know what I'm talking about? Make him review it. Like he say, I would have put the pressure on the referees to be like, are you going to call it or what? You know what I'm saying? For real. It's been too long since we had playoff baseball around here. We needed that. And your Patriots, I saw open up a can. You know what I'm saying? Feel good to try to get back on them. We want to get back to some winning side, but according to the critics, the reason the Cowboys been losing because it's been Dak Prescott's fault. Now, I will say, these last 3 playoff games, he has had, but people said Russ outplayed him, but nobody give him credit when he retired Tom Brady. Nobody. They don't even count. They don't even remember that as a win. That be the selective that selectiveness that everybody be having. You know what I'm saying? So. But like I said, I'm not here to defend him or I'm not here to praise him. I'm just saying, bro, to be honest, I thought the offensive line was in control of that defensive line for the Packers. They really weren't. Dak really got rid of the football and he made things happen. So it's really giving credit to where credit is due for damn sure. But I want to give credit to Schottenheimer. I think he's drawing up plays where there are multiple people open. I will show this on one of my shorts. I'll show y'all a couple plays that I'm talking about. There's plays where you get multiple people open, and I likes that, bro. I likes that. That means you and your quarterback are here. Y'all are here. That's where we're gonna need to be, because as you see, this defense got a long way to go. They got a long way to go. And going against the Jets, bro, you're gonna face a quarterback that can break contain. So here we are, been stressing about getting pressure on the quarterback. Now we're going to get pressure on the quarterback, and we're going to break our gaps, and we're going to give up like damn near 100 yards rushing to Justin Fields. But if the Cowboys want anything to feel good about, they need to go out and handle business. They need to go out and handle business and at least win by a touchdown. And I mean, when I say a touchdown, I mean like 8 points. Can you win by like 8 or 9 points this game? But the problem is, before I don't know what I'm going to get from supposedly Dak Prescott, I know what I'm going to get from this defense. They're going to give up ass and elbows. So I'm more like, bro, if they lose, it's going to be more their defense. You can say Dak, but if you give up 300 passing yards to Justin Fields, I rest my case, bro. I rest my case. Like, damn. What you really gonna do? What are you really gonna do? In the words of Jim Brown, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? But what I'm looking at in totality of this game, like I said, I was there. They talk shit real early. I started talking shit back, and then it just got to hold your breath, see what happens, and let the chips fall where they may. And that's basically how it went down. But that was a fun game, though. I thought the Giants game was crazy. That Packers game was even more crazy, bro. And like I said, I'm figuring it out. Like I said, y'all see, I had a different view from this game. You know what I'm saying? So you'll probably see me a lot more giving y'all that all 22 look. Because like you say, I ain't spending arm in the leg to watch a defense like that go out there and be like that. And then not knowing if I'm going to get the 4 I need, the 4 that I need to, get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we're being responsible. So we might be in some cheap seats, we might not be, but I've kind of figured out how this thing is gonna go. It's just basically give me Friday night, Saturday morning. Them boys, you know what I'm saying? Everybody started dropping things. So I gotta get with you as well, Two Guns. So, you know what I'm saying? We should do a live on something, on anything, or whatever, a video on anything, but we should link up. For damn sure. For damn sure. This Jets game could be a confidence boost for our pass D. And I'm hoping so. But like I said, I think it's going to be on film. Yeah, you can take your shots downfield, but I think the main thing that you're going to have to worry about is Justin Fields' legs. And like I said, you saw what happened with like I said, Jalen Hurts couldn't throw for 300 yards against this Cowboys defense with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert and all that, and a Saquon Barkley. You couldn't throw for 300 yards. But he ran for a lot of yards, and that killed you. I can see the same game plan with Justin Fields. I can see the same game plan. So I think this week is going to be more for the pass rush. It's not exactly about pressure. It's about making it squeezing the pocket. It's going to be more about squeezing the pocket. And unfortunately, if we're going to play that type of defense and we're not going to, because I think if you blitz Justin Fields, he'll eat you up. We'll go back a week. I mean, it'll be Thursday night football. Maybe tomorrow when we go look at everything of all DFW sports, probably go look at Justin Fields' numbers. But I think if you blitz him, he's good at one read. You know what I'm saying? And if you're giving him one read, that makes it easy. So normally against scrambling quarterbacks, you do want to play you some zone, but is your linebackers good enough to get depth and close at the same time? I know our defensive tackles can, muddy up the front. I know they can do that, but can you know what I'm saying? Can you extend that? Can you go further? No mistakes. Sooner or later, the defense gotta come along, bro. The defense has to come along. And these next 2 weeks are the prime week for Eberflus to find something out with this defense, bro. It really is. It really is, bro. Justin Fields, Bryce Young teams that are, the Jets are going to be desperate. They're going to be desperate. And everybody plays good when they're the desperate team against the Cowboys. So I'm telling you, because if Dak goes out there and put up 30 points against both these teams and it's not enough to win, y'all see where this is going. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, how come he couldn't? Forget all that. If you giving up 30 points to the Jets, 30 points plus points to the Panthers, over 300, man, bro, y'all might as well walk a college defense out there. That's just my thought. My biggest takeaways is Schottenheimer, he didn't let Matt LaFleur punk him. I saw Matt LaFleur like I said, that whole team got punked. Matt LaFleur, he punked Mike McCarthy that 2023 playoff game, bro. This game, it looked like they were about to get punked. Shotty rolled up his sleeves, bro. That's my biggest takeaway I take from it. Schottenheimer, until it got to the end. Now, a lot of people say go for it on fourth down. To me, I'm 50-50. I'm fine that you kick the field goal. I'm fine if you go for it. Because to me personally, you saw what happened. You gave up points. Had there been just a little bit much more time on the clock, they would have threw it. They would have got a touchdown. But instead, they had to settle for a field goal. But, to either or. I think it could have went either way. Because your offense was doing good enough. I just think I think what was smart about Brian Schottenheimer is he didn't want to fuck the game over because all those 3 plays was a bad sequence of play calling, actually. Those plays really got you nowhere. So what do you think you actually going to dial up on fourth down? And I think they had already called their timeout, I believe. So it's one of those type of situations. But Brian Schottenheimer did not get punked by Matt LaFleur. That's what I take. I I think Dak was up to the challenge and he didn't punk on the pressure. That's a big thing. Another big thing, George Pickens. It's hard to say because you're going to have two personalities in him and CD Lamb. If things ain't going right, you see what I'm saying? But George Pickens, you continue to put together games like this while CD Lamb is out, I would like to extend our family invitation to you, my guy. For real. Javonte Williams, like I said, biggest thing for me, to me, he's the MVP of this team so far. I mean, you can say Brandon Aubrey because he basically got you to win, but Javonte Williams to me is clear-cut MVP right now. That's me. That's me. Defense, like I said, looking at the all 22, I say it, and I'm just like, bro, I started to see a quarterback look uncomfortable. It wasn't that he was just sliding and getting out the way. Now, sometimes he did just slide and get out the way, but there were a good several times where he's uncomfortable in the pocket. There were several times. And I'll have to take that. I'll have to take that. Also, looking at the all 22, you are glad that you do have Bass and Hoffman. Now, this was a tough matchup for them. Next week will be a tough matchup as well with what, Quentin Williams in there. It'll be another tough matchup. It's only going to keep getting tougher for the offense, and it's going to keep getting tougher for the defense. But hey, there's other quarterbacks that got MVPs and all that stuff, and they got the same amount of wins as Dak do right now. But don't nobody say nothing. My experience going to that game with the roof being open as well, boy, I wish they'll do it more. Now, not only at night games. Don't do that shit at no 325 game. Do not do that shit at no noon game because we all know all of a sudden we can't see in our own stadium when the sun be shining like that. So the night games like Monday night against the Cardinals, which that's a game. If you haven't already, go look at them tickets. Them tickets are cheap. Those tickets are cheap. Get yourself in the AT&T Stadium Monday night. I'm not giving Jerry no money. As long as he got Dak or as long as this team is bad, I ain't giving Jerry no money. And then when Sunday come around, why is there so many Packer fans in there? Why aren't we loud in AT&T Stadium? Goddamn, what y'all want? The hell you want? Pick and choose what you want. But I will say this. Look, y'all, the proof is in the pudding. I think a lot of the critics are using mind games because when you don't think the Cowboys will do shit, they do shit. So let's go the rest of this week saying, man, we know what to expect from the Cowboys. We expect Dak Prescott to basically falter right back down. We expect this defense to keep giving up a lot of stuff, and it's just going to be a bastard. Just say it. Just say it because it seems like they play better when we're all against them like that. So you know what? Let's play some mind games, that reverse psychology shit. Because nobody thought the Cowboys had a chance of even being close in this game. And after the first quarter, it was almost proven to be right. But, the defense didn't put up 40 points. I put it to you that way. Somebody had to put up 40 points. But let the critics tell it. Let the critics tell it. It wasn't enough. It came from a mediocre guy against a mediocre team. I ain't going to say Dak is elite, but for y'all to sit there and say the Packers are mediocre, it's like, come on, bro. Y'all didn't say they was mediocre before this game. So just give credit to where credit is due. I'm giving more credit to Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer didn't get punked. Then it's going to Dak. Dak, if you got access to the all 22, you're going to look at him and be like, bro, Dak could have got sacked right there. Dak could have got sacked right there. He took some shots too. Dak could have got sacked right there, but he getting rid of that bit. And he getting rid of it for completions. He ain't just chucking ducking. He wasn't just chucking ducking. It sucked to have that game end in the tie, but if you were a person like me that had to go to work the next morning, shit. I'm talking about I don't think I crawled back. I don't think I crawled into the bed until about after 1:30 because the game ended like after 12, bro. And you know, a Cowboy game be different. It'd be more people, and with the game going all the way down to the end like that, like nobody really left. So that bitch stayed packed into the end. And so now you got to get up out that bitch, and now you got to wait for the traffic. I'm talking about that was a good wait. Luckily, I had my I wish it was a victory stick, but it was a tie stick. But still fun nonetheless. So, like I said, looking at all the numbers, I was actually surprised. I was surprised that the Cowboys got 25 pressures, but I knew that they had more hurries this game. I saw Kenny Clark. He was basically running roughshod, but so did Osa Odigizua. This was probably one of his best games. Looking at it. It's probably one of his best games, but this Jack Sanborn guy, dog, y'all got to do something with him. He's not getting it, bro. That man had 3 missed tackles. Kenneth Murray had 1 missed tackle. Jack Sanborn and Maurice Leofau. Oh, I love Maurice Leofau, but when he got that penalty, dog, oh my gosh, bro. That hurt. And it was a stupid penalty, too. But you're just getting too many missed tackles, dog. Damn sure from Jack Sanborn week in, week out. Week in, week out, you getting missed tackles. He had 10 tackles with 3 missed tackles, but it's like, bro, you could have actually way more tackles if you were playing faster, bro. He plays slow. I mean, slow as fuck. Okay, so I got a little bit of more numbers to look at as I'm looking at it right there. What do you say? A victory would have given you the energy the next day. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Had they lost, I damn sure would have called in because that'd have been depressing to go through all that and you witness a loss. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm just proud they didn't get pumped. There is no more victory because I'm not celebrating the tie, but I'm like, bro, with a defense that's giving up over 30 plus yards, 30 plus points a game, giving up the most yards and highest third down conversion rate, just to see Dak go toe to toe, that's basically what you're going to have to ask for. I will say Dak would feed his critics more had Javonte Williams not been along here. Because I think had they not had a running game, I think you'll be seeing you could possibly see the real Dak. But Javonte Williams, he's softening up defenses, bro. There's no taking away from that. Javonte Williams is softening up, folks. He's softening up D lines, bro. He toting that boy. And really, the strength of our team is not really pass blocking. As well, you do got good amount of your offensive line starters out, but at the same time, run blocking is really where they're excelling at. That's where they've been elite here this season, is really in the run blocking. So what you got to do is just find a complimentary back. Can we get Jaden Blue in? Can we get Jaden Blue? Can we start a petition for Jaden Blue, please, and get him out on the field and see what's the deal? What the problem is? What is really the problem? Why can't he really touch the field, man? So, like I said, I'm not here to go back and forth with a lot of people who saying I'm praising Dak or criticizing whatever. We're just really going off being there at the game. I'm just like, bro, the vibes was right. Schottenheimer didn't get punked. Dak didn't back down. And I think he frustrated the shit out of that defense. That defense is going to go back. I'm pretty sure they were on that plane and they kind of questioned themselves. I know they did. I can't wait to go to another game. Me and my brothers was kind of talking about doing one of these road games. which I said I need to go to the start. Now I need to go to Playmakers, check out Michael Irvin's spot. We do have a spot in Plano, tight ends. Maybe hit up a Twin Peaks. Bombshells be expensive, but or we can hit up the Star and get on the field. So I know one of these games, either the Panthers or the Jets, I'm gonna go on the road and like have some shorts and stuff like that. Being in a venue that, you know, catch all the fellas' eyes and all that type of stuff. I know a couple spots. They be packed, but it'll be good to check them out. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see about that. But 40-40 time, man, it is what it is. You don't lose, you don't win. Ain't nobody throwing no parade or nothing like that. But, you know, to sit here and say Dak didn't play well, bro, you're clearly, I don't even want to say being a hater. You just being miserable. You just being a negative Nancy. And don't nobody like people. People like, oh, I'm not negative. I'm just telling the truth. Okay, sure you are. Sure you're telling the truth because your truth is saying that one guy plays 22 positions. That's what you're saying. One guy plays 22 positions. It is what, you know, I had to take a sip on that. I'm like, bro, it is what it is. Tomorrow I will be going live, and I want to give a whole rap about DFW sports. I'll try to start looking into some preview going about the Jets. We'll take a good look at the Pro Football Focus numbers on the Jets. What we're gonna kind of look at going in. Friday, I want to do a real good breakdown, previewing Cowboys and Jets, giving my thoughts. But Wednesday, like I said, we're giving it back to the DFW night. Tomorrow, I'm looking to, you know, talk Cowboys and Jets coming along. I want to talk Texas Rangers since the season is over with. News went out yesterday. Bruce Bochy and the Rangers agreed to mutually agree to part ways. So I want to talk a little bit about that in the direction that they're going. The Stars did win today to stay unblemished in preseason play. They won 5-3 over the Blues today. So the Stars coming out in the preseason real hot. Talk a little bit about them. The Mavericks had media day. What was it, yesterday and today, I believe. So talk a little bit about some Dallas Mavericks coming up. Even the Dallas Wings. Dallas Wings made a coaching change as well. They got rid of coach, what is his name? Kakalkis. I can never say his name right, but they went on ahead and decided to move on from him, which that was a move I clearly saw coming. But, you know, it's going to be a lot of DFW sports talk to go around, you know what I'm saying, around the table. So catch me around the same time here tomorrow around 9 o'clock. We'll spread the wealth. But, of course, we'll talk a lot of Cowboys, Jets, looking at, you know, the Jets, you know, what their Pro Football Focus numbers is looking at, where we need to attack at and where we need to be on the lookout at. So catch me around 9 o'clock. We'll do that and talk more things around the Metroplex, man. Y'all know the vibes around here. Appreciate everybody tuning in one time. Appreciate the haters for tuning in one time. Or the overly critic people, you know, they don't want to say, we're truth tellers. Okay, so for the the so-called truth tellers, appreciate y'all for tuning in as well. And if you're catching this on the playback, man, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and drop a comment. Go ahead and check out my latest video vlog, Cowboys and Packers. I mean, the 2 vlogs that I got of this season so far, they both in overtime. They both lit games, good content. Man, y'all check it out and get y'all buzz on to that, man. Catch y'all around here 9 o'clock tomorrow, man. Same time. Y'all know my slogan, man. Do everything with love because love always wins. With that, that's the law. I'm out.
Self-made independent, ho, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and know that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in a symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.